Folks, over the last couple of weeks, you have seen me kind of play with the idea that your day job is not a prison. Your day job is not a life sentence. You can earn early release. But did you know there might be some habits that you have that make you stay in prison? What are some of those habits that might keep you slave to the job? What do you think, Dion?
I think the problem with habits is people don't understand what they are, and the
Mhm.
habit is what's keeping you poor.
Yeah.
So the common sentence you'll hear when people talk about habits is it takes 21 days to make or break a habit. You have to do it consistently over a period of time to where you'll start to feel weird if you don't do that action. Whether it's working out, eating less, sleeping more, whatever that thing is that you're trying to improve on. So if your habit is to show up at work, do enough to not get fired, not work after work on your own stuff, not find a way to put your money to work. Your habit is to just work. That's the habit you're going to stick with. So not only is it going to keep you poor because you're not investing, but that's why so many people sit back and think more than 40 hours a week for more than 40 years to retire on less than 40% of what I made is okay because it's a
Yeah.
habit that they just stick with for year after year.
Yeah. I think there's so much in that that I'm just starting to articulate. I'm trying to one of the things that when you ran go to market in software, you're always trying to create a story or what I call aha moments, right? If I could get the light bulb to go off in a client's mind or a sales rep's mind, I know I've got them. So that's why I've been playing with this idea that your job's the key, not a prison. It's why it's suddenly morphed into your job is not a life sentence. I think that really resonates, right? The education system makes employees. Fact. You go get a job, you're in, if you want to call it a prison, so be it, but you can earn early release called financial independence. But you're right about these habits. You have 40 or 50 hours a week where you are committed to the day job. That still leaves a lot of time to do a lot of other things. Some of those things help you get out of prison. Some of those things keep you in prison. And I got to tell you, Dion, some of these habits are consuming hours and hours and hours and not moving you forward. And oh my goodness, might be taking you backwards. And people need to realize it. So, what are some examples you have?
So whenever we talk about habits, I think the easiest example to go to is how you have the merchandise, the hat, the shirt, do the
Mhm.
work. And we've talked many times about it's not as beneficial to set aside 5 hours on a Saturday as it is
Right.
to take 20 to 30 minutes a day every day because it makes a habit. Like, so our brains understand that. We do it consistently over time, right? But here's an example of some things that some of my friends are doing that is absolutely keeping them poor.
Yep.
The habit of a car payment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've got friends that have had a car for the 3, 5, or 7 year term that they have the loan to get the car. And as they're coming up to those final 3 or 4 payments, I've had the conversation with them. I've almost got my car paid off. I could see that their skin is itching and they're trying to crawl out of their own skin because they need to buy a car to start the payments again. Because now that that one's paid off, I can't have a paid off car. What if it breaks? Well, what if it broke before you paid it off and it was a thing that wasn't covered under your warranty?
Uh,
So they just have this mindset of I have to pay this much every month for my car, which incurs this much in full coverage insurance consistently. Like that's never going to stop. Instead of maybe having an older paid off car for 5 to 10 years so that you don't have the habit of a car payment, so you can have that habit of investing so that once you hit the 8 or 9 or 10 year mark, you can do what I did for the last 5 years and have a brand new, ridiculously stupid, whatever car you want. I went from Ford Raptor, Corvette, jacked up F-250 with the compensator written on the tailgate, went through, cycled all of those cars because I went, I don't know, 20 years without a car payment because I was driving older cars.
right.
And I can tell that there are people, I've got this friend recently, I would say about 6 months ago, her lease was
Mm.
coming to an end and it was killing her. She says, I can't just pay it off because I don't have a paid off car. I'm going to go start another lease.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a consumption, right? The economy, frankly, is built on consumption. Ads 70% of the economy is consumption. So a lot of people have the habit of spending on things that don't move them forward, and more importantly, move them backwards, aka car payments. One of the things that I'm getting out of the brand new series of new real estate investors is how many of them have free and clear cars. Some of them with hundreds. One of them had 350,000 miles on. And they're like, damn, that's a lot of miles. So, um, the other thing that I see as far as a habit is there's two things: time and your friends. How many of you are doing things that are consuming time that aren't moving the needle forward? That time is the only non-replaceable asset. Money comes and goes. Time does not. So if you're using 4 hours a week to play video games or smoke out or do whatever it is, you're not moving forward. You're going to stay in prison. If also on friends, dude, some of your friends suck, and some of your friends really suck because they're doing nothing but holding you back. They're talking shit. They're not even your friends because they're stabbing you in the back when you're not there. Get new friends. If you want early release from the 40-40 life, own your shit. Make some different choices.
So two things there. You mentioned video games. There was a period of time where I played World of Warcraft to sell things online, and all those years I did that. This was probably 2009 to 2015 before rental started generating enough money for me to focus on that with time instead of gaming. Hours, right? I'd spend hours to make this money every month, playing with people who weren't making money every month, committing the same number of hours.
Exactly. Your side hustle, your income generating playing the games, which honestly, I didn't even know you could do. So kudos to you. But most people are interested in leveling up and spending real money on make-believe crap going backwards.
So then from 2015 to 2022, I focused on investing in real estate, reached financial freedom, and retired in 2022. And since retiring, since I have more time freedom, which is to do with random videos with you like this, when you say, hey, I've got a spot available, are you free? Absolutely, every time. I've gone back and played a few games. The same people from over 7 years ago are playing. And when they hear that I retired, I'll get this litany of texts, or if it's on Discord, words of why they can't do it. Then you had the same 7 years, you had the same gaming. You could have turned this into, you could have monetized this. You could have then found an investing strategy. But at least they're still good at the game. Like they got that.
They might be a little better than you, I guess. Yeah.
Exactly. Here's a habit I think that's really hard to break. Because for a period of time, this is a good habit. A lot of people move out of their parents' house and they start renting. Renting becomes a habit. To buy a house, you need to get your credit right, learn how to save, have a down payment, talk to a lender, make phone calls, meet agents, find a market, whether it's to buy your house or a house hack is the preferable method. But to get on the property ladder takes breaking one of the strongest habits that some people live their entire lives with. And I'll give one statistic that might motivate somebody to break this habit. If you're renting, and yes, it does make sense. I rented for 2 years so I could rent my house out and get rental income on my tax returns. There are times it makes sense. Sometimes you're in a market where if you rent a room in a house, you can save more money. You're house hacking before you own a house. Here's the statistic of net worth, average net worth. At retirement age, which is not an age, it's a number, but the retirement age in this scenario is 65. It's when they did this study. $221,000 for somebody who owned a house. So not even an investor, not even somebody with rentals, just homeowner, $221,000. Renter, $6,800 average net worth. That significant difference right there would tell me there's probably a way I should find to break the habit of paying rent.
Yeah, it's almost like owning assets is the key to getting rich. I mean, it's shocking. It's shocking how simple this stuff is. But again, I do think there's a lot of habits. How you're spending your time, what are you spending your money on? The other habit that I see out there, and I fell victim for this for a decade. So again, self-reflection. I made more money. I spent more money. That is such a ridiculous habit. I was happy at spending X. I made X plus, so I spent X plus. That is such a stupid habit, but I did it for a decade.
There are people who habit is such life creep is such a habit that they plan for it.
Oh,
I have a tenant. I have a tenant in a 2-bedroom. Right? He's a happy guy. He's got a kid. He's living there. Great tenant. He had a big pickup and an Escalade, right? So very nice,
damn.
$90,000 vehicles, both of them, right? And he's renting this one. We need tenants. It's great. He said, actually, I should reach out to him because he said this about August. He said in 5 or 6 months, my Escalade is paid off. I don't have any more payments on it. So if you have a 3-bedroom place, I would like to start renting that if you have one available. So as soon as the car payment goes away, he's going to get a bigger place. Doesn't have more kids, doesn't work from home, right? It's just, I will have this much money to spend on a bigger life.
Right.
It's a habit. So anytime that person gets more income or has an expense go away, they're going to find a way to fill it that isn't investing.
Well, let's hope. Let's hope. I'm just going to put it out there just for good karma. Maybe he's going to rent the 3rd bedroom and actually get a roommate, but probably not.
It's not. It's not.
I just wanted to put it out there. I just wanted to put out good karma. At the end of the day, folks, think about where you're spending money, think about where you're spending time, and think about your friends. There are habits in there that you do without even knowing, hence their habits, that are holding you back, that are keeping you in the prison of a 40, 40, 40 life. That is 40 hours a week for 40 years to live on 40%. There is a better way. Break some of these habits, identify them, follow folks like Dion. Dion, where can they find you?
Right here on YouTube, Dion Talk Financial Freedom.
Thank you, buddy.